Well, hello and welcome to another Miniatures Ramble on this Monday the 11th of May, 2020. I'm Dr. Ian as always. And let's start out by this with this squadron of flyers. I believe, if I remember correctly, that the Reaper catalog calls these night cloaks. And my interpretation is that it's closest to the creature in D&D called a cloaker. And as you can see, I've painted them darker on top and lighter on the bottom. And I've actually done a lot of work on their bases. Have different sort of terrain on each one to differentiate them, because they all look the same otherwise. Well, almost the same. There's one where let's see, this one, the tail spike is kind of miscast. It's just a little lump. It's supposed to be like this. I haven't bothered complaining about it. I mean, I know very well that if I told Reaper customer support about this, they would simply send me a new model. But I already have 6. What do I need with 7th? I just have to paint that too. And you know, deploying them in a group, the players won't notice if one looks a bit worse than the others. It's not a big deal. I think they turned out okay. I'm not sure about the paint schemes, but oh well. Now, because these are pretty large, they have large wingspans, they're going to take up, I mean, one of these is going to take up all the space in my light box. And what I think I'm going to do for the still pics at the end is to choose the best looking one, the one where the paint job turned out the best, and just take pictures of that. And it'll stand in for the rest. You know, you don't want to look at like 20 pictures of these, all of these, and slight variations, I think. Or I don't think. Whichever works. Anyway, that's them. Let's see what else is on.
This pains me greatly, but I have to admit ignominious defeat. I simply haven't finished anything more this week, and what I was supposed to be finished with was these gnomes. And the thing is, I just didn't feel inspired by them because they are... they have a tons of detail on them, but it's very shallow and fuzzy because of the bones material they're cast in. So it's really hard to differentiate what's what and decide what it's supposed to be. And this led to a lot of dithering and not wanting to paint them and just putting it off and doing other stuff instead with my time. Until finally I decided, no, I'll just have to bite the bullet and just paint something, some splotches of color in there, and just do drastic shading and highlighting to make it pop a little bit and not worry so much about what it's supposed to represent actually. But this decision came rather late, and I started painting them, but I didn't have the time to finish them in time for this filming. So, in total, fewest number of miniatures painted in a week for this entire year. Oh well. Now that I've started them, I'll catch up. I'll finish these quickly later today, maybe, or at the latest tomorrow, and then move on to the other stuff that is in prep. And this seems more fun, actually. I'm more interested in the minis that I'm going to show you next. So I'm not going to get stuck with them in the same way. So let's move on to those. So here is the gallery of newly primed stuff. I mean, for the bones, it's simply that I've assembled them, a little bit of gap filling, and a relatively light coat of primer. Didn't go for anything fancy here. no pre-shading, no zenithal highlighting, because in no zenithal priming, I mean, because it doesn't matter. I'm gonna need to apply so many different kinds of painting technique anyway. Now, with these two characters from Minx, I have to admit that I dropped this figure while I was prepping it, and so the wand is a little bit shorter than it should be. The tip was broken. It's still fairly long, I think. It's okay. Didn't do anything to it except to put it on a separate base and add some basing grit. With the wizard, I did a little bit more. Now, what was included was the actual figure, the book that he's standing on, and the various orbs and mist and whatever. Then I sort of, I don't know if you can tell here, I stamped the texture and some green stuff on the base and added more books. I do 3 books from my bits box, a collection of little resin scattertrain pieces to make it look like he's he's been researching a big ritual, and now he's activating it. And yeah, we'll see how far we get by next week on this.
And it's Christmas once more with a package from Reaper. What's in this one? Well, a bunch of stuff. Let's. Yeah. So, what did I get? Well, a sort of mixed bag. Let's see. We have, first off, this Ellen Monk, which I got because I thought it would be useful for a play character in one of my campaigns, but turns out he had a different conception of the character, so I'm putting this one aside for now. Not going to do much with it for a while. This was the bonus mini for this month, or for this order, Vodelis Winterhand, which is a just another classical bearded mage with a staff and a hood. Again, I don't really need him for anything right now. Putting him aside for the moment. And then we have the Barrow Wardens. Let's see. Yes, 6 of them. Actually, there's 3 different. These are like whites in heavy armor with swords and axes and shields and stuff. There's 3 different models, and I got 2 of each. So here's Barrow Warden 1 and 2. Here's 2 copies of Barrow Warden 3, and here's another 1 and 2. I got the Werebore because I realized I didn't have him for some reason. He's running like he's about to tackle somebody. Do we have any more? Well, we have Cinderlise the Hellborn Sorceress, who is a tiefling magic user of some sort. A Chronoscope robot, Jeeves the Clockwork Robot. Brangus Ironbeard, who is a sort of dwarven thief. And 2 packs of 2 translucent slimes in each. So this is an eclectic bunch of miniatures, but I think all of this, I'm not sure about the Werebore, but the whites, the slimes, and these 3 characters, Jeeves, Brangus, and Cinderlise, these I'm putting in the queue. These I'm prepping to start painting next week. I'll probably do the Werebore as well. Why not? Why the heck not? I'm just not. Well, depends a little bit on timing, but eventually I get around to him. And it's just those 2 characters, the wizard and the monk, that I'll be putting in my to-do later box. So yeah, I don't think I need to. I mean, I could have added something from the Kickstarter, the Bones 4 Kickstarter, but this is all Reaper stuff, and a lot of it is bones anyway, so I don't think I will. I'll just stick with this stuff. It's going to be enough to keep me busy, I believe. And yeah, maybe more from the Kickstarter next week. But for now, that was the episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Click like if you did, or even if you just watched to the end and hated every minute of it. Subscribe, comment, share, all that stuff. But most of all, I'll be back here in a week, same day, same channel, same Darkian, who is now signing off.